Kotaku is about to die a slow, sweet death. That personally, after all the shenanigans some of their employees have been getting into the last couple of weeks, is a little bit self-inflicted. This whole Sweet Baby Inc. thing has come up. It's gone viral. It's caused a backlash on a lot of the journalists that are not just involved with Sweet Baby Inc. or Kotaku, but just the whole gaming industry as a whole. A lot of people are being exposed for the frauds that they are. They're going on the block list. They're going on Twitter. They're attacking people. But today, Kotaku's editor-in-chief, their head honcho, is exiting due to parent company's new guide directive. And I wanted to touch on this and freestyle a little bit because I have my speculations. Of course, nobody's come out and said it, but we all pretty much know why Kotaku is having an exodus of people like their editor-in-chief. So they put a news report out. I guess there was a little bit of a press release, and some news websites are reporting that basically they're doing a new directive for guides. Now, Jen Glennon, who's their editor-in-chief, she's resigning after 5 months into her role while the publication deprioritizes, and I think I said that wrong because my tongue doesn't move R's and O's, and deprioritizes news. So if you've seen since the Sweet Baby Inc. thing has been happening, people have been in defense force for Sweet Baby Inc. What Sweet Baby Inc.? It's essentially what is being called Gamergate 2.0 because you have a whole bunch of people involved in the industry, from journalists, from gaming PR companies at PlayStation, you have Ubisoft, you have all sorts of people in the industry that are trying to protect a company called Sweet Baby Inc. that consults on diversity and inclusion in video games. Basically, they put woke stuff that people like to feel is forced in video games, which, let's be honest, it has been pretty much forced in a lot of games. There's nothing wrong with it, but when it's forced and shoved in, come on. It's a little bit too much. People don't want that. But let's read this article. I'm blabbering a little bit. You can see this is big, all right? They are doing a new directive. They're focusing on game guides. And this is what Glennon said in this letter. I firmly believe that the decision to invert Kotaku's editorial strategy to deprioritize news in favor of guides is fundamentally misguided. Pun intended. Like, how ironic is that pun here, where Kotaku's new plan to make guides is misguided? Like, the irony is here. Like, Glennon's irony, they probably didn't even mean that. But continuing on, they are saying it's fundamentally misguided given the current infrastructure of the site. This decision is directly contradicted by months of traffic data and shows an astonishing disregard for the livelihoods of the remaining writers and editors who work here. According to a source familiar with the matter, Kotaku staffers are expected to create 50 guides in total a week. That is hardcore. So these progressive little left-winger journalists like Alyssa Marcante, who, by the way, officially blocked me as of today. She blocked me because I guess she didn't like my opinions on Sweet Baby Inc. or her article where she proceeded to do damage control for Sweet Baby Inc., which I think this was the downfall. I think Alyssa Marcante single-handedly caused a lot of trouble for Kotaku at this point. If you guys remember her social media habits, she was essentially attacking people, saying you can't be racist against white people. She was calling everybody bigots and targeted harassers and supporting doxing. And then, just the other day, I discovered the whole thing where her and a PlayStation PR representative by the name of Mike Diver were essentially trying to deplatform RGT85 for his opinions on the matter. I know he said, guys, be nice, don't go after them, he's not over it. No, you have to stick your knee on these guys' chest and make them hold themselves accountable for their actions. Gaming journalism needs integrity, and for a PlayStation PR representative to be in cahoots with somebody that is defending Sweet Baby Inc., a company that is actually allied with another nonprofit organization that's funded by our U.S. government to try to force inclusion and diversity, and if they don't get what they want, they block you, they deplatform you, they uncensor you. They're trying to control a narrative, ladies and gentlemen, with help of funding from the U.S. government. That's scary. And this article from Melissa caused a lot of backlash because guess what? Streisand effect. They came out here and they tried to defend Sweet Baby Inc., who was on record by their own employees, Kincaid, Lego Bots, and a couple other, trying to deplatform a Steam group that was essentially making a list of games that Sweet Baby Inc. was involved with. It was called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected. Guess what? It backfired, caused a Streisand effect. That group has over 300,000 followers on it now. People are starting to bring awareness to this whole Sweet Baby Inc. situation. And the reason why I'm trying to tie it into this is because this is an example of how thin-skinned these gaming journalists are. They start shit, they attack, they try to deplatform, and then they block, and they play victim. And then they're slowly but surely being uncovered as the roaches they are, being in cahoots with people like PlayStation PR, trying to deplatform anybody that doesn't agree with what they're saying. And that's not cool. So what does that have to do with the Kotaku editor-in-chief taking off? Well, guess what? This is a direct result, in my opinion. When you're starting to have a lot of people do bullshit and shenanigans, it slowly starts to put a nail in the coffin. The editor-in-chief is bailing out because Kotaku's parent company likely saw the drama, saw the issues with the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff, and said, you know what, we're not prioritizing, there, I finally said it, fake news. We're a gaming website. We're just going to stick with gaming from now on. A lot of journalists can't act right when they have their editorials. They start to go on these tangents, especially these days. They have their opinion pieces where they start to push these agendas in them. And instead of focusing on video games and good things about gaming, they're trying to blame white people for everything wrong with this world. They're trying to enforce LGBTQ stuff. And let me be honest, diversity is great. Inclusion is great. Not when you're forcing it and trying to include all this ideology forced. All right? That's my issue with it. I don't care that Sweet Baby Inc. was a thing until they started to try to deplatform Steam groups that were just letting people know, hey, you might not support this type of stuff or ideologies in your video games. These are games that involve Sweet Baby Inc. They didn't like that. They didn't want the consumers to be informed, and that caused a huge backlash that I feel is trickling down. And you've seen all these Sweet Baby Inc. Defense Force people come out doing all these wild things, attacking people, trying to harass, trying to dox, trying to deplatform RGT85. And I think it's trickling down to where now we're going to start seeing places go the way of G4. Frost caused G4 to die. I think Alyssa Marcante is going to cause Kotaku to die. So now we get the editor-in-chief. The senior editor-in-chief is blocking people and hiding. You also had just the other day, Parrish, who wrote on The Verge. She wrote a similar damage control article about Sweet Baby Inc. And she essentially admitted that she left out and lied about stuff about Alyssa Mercante because she wanted to fit the narrative of what they're trying to push, that they're not the victims and stuff. So Kotaku will be indeed dying a slow death, guys. And you're going to start seeing a lot of these gaming journalists freak out and say that their livelihoods are at stake and that people relishing in Kotaku dying is a problem. Guess what? I am so sorry that now you journalists have to actually work and write stuff about video games instead of writing about how white man bad, right-wing conservative bad, LGBTQ, woo, yeah, let's force it. Oh, this game has not enough POCs. We need more diversity. Like, now it's go time. You know what? A lot of you little sheltered snowflakes, y'all became journalists right out of y'all's college with y'all's liberal arts degree. Now you're going to have to learn what it's like to be a real journalist. I hope you guys have integrity to do your job, because 50 guides a week is a pretty high quota. Let's see if you can actually do stuff about video games and not agendas.